I'm so tired of my students. I put a lot of time into planning my lectures, but half of them sleep right through them. I assign homework, but nobody turns it in. The other day, I asked a really good question in class. A quiet kid in the back raised his hand. I was excited because I thought I reached him. I called on him and he just asked if he could go to the bathroom. This teaching thing isn't turning out like I thought it would at all.
Well then, flip it around.
What do you mean?
I mean change the way your classroom functions. Instead of spending hours preparing one-size-fits-all boring lectures and assigning busy work that your students are doing outside class, give them the content information outside the classroom on their own terms, and spend your valuable class time with them interacting and working on real problems. It's a new technique called the flipped classroom. What? How am I supposed to give them all that information without me giving them all that information? And how are they supposed to actually find what they're supposed to know? Use your technology resources. Ever heard of Khan Academy? There are thousands of online videos and tutorials on almost every subject. Letting your students learn the content on their own gives them the individualized instruction you can't realistically give 30 students at the same time. They can pause, rewind and review material anytime, anywhere. Students crave this kind of control over the way they learn. And as far as knowing what they're supposed to be learning about, your lesson centers on several broad, open-ended, complex questions, along with more specific questions they should be able to answer to guide their thoughts. So, what? They don't need me anymore? And what am I supposed to do for 96 minutes every day if I'm not lecturing? Oh no, in this new classroom your students will need you more than ever. And not just for the hall pass. Since they come to class with a good idea of what the lesson is, about, you are free to put that knowledge to use and start working on real problems. Since your time isn't being dominated by planning lectures, you will have more time to plan lessons and think of inquiry-based questions to guide your students and by putting into practice what they've learned. Your time is also more available to help individual students, or better yet, have students tutor each other. The entire atmosphere of your classroom will change, literally overnight. Where did you hear about this? And who says, besides you, that it works? It's a growing trend, coming from teachers everywhere who are trying it and getting results. Not only is it a great way to integrate technology into the classroom, teachers find that it forces students to be skill learners instead of content learners only. Those guiding questions are the real meat of the program, and it is transforming the way learning happens. In one school, before teachers tried this type of classroom, over 50% of their high school freshmen were failing English, and 44% of them were failing math. They also had over 700 behavior discipline cases per semester. After the flip, so to speak, only 19% were failing English, and 13% in math. 500 of the discipline cases disappeared. Those are the results from one semester. Okay, you've convinced me. I should give this a try. It sounds pretty exciting. Yes, it is amazing. And fairly easy, if you know what you're doing before you start. A few things to consider for your best practices. For this to really work, you've got to give your students a reason to want to learn this content. Giving them a real reason to learn by providing real application is important. Be sure that your activities are reflective on, not just the what of the subject, but the why and the how. Also, be sure that you have planned out your flipped classroom carefully. Think about issues like technology and when and where the students will learn. Finally, only use the flipped classroom as a tool to support your already well-established pedagogical model of inquiry learning. That's how the learning really takes place. Not by watching videos. Thanks for the advice. Wish me luck. I'll get back to you in a few weeks and let you know how things are going.